Resurgence of multiple collective identities in India. In recent years, societies in India have borne witness to the proliferation and resurgence of varieties of the identities. These are widely caused by increasing quantum of interconnectivity, social mobility, and interpenetration of new technologies on the one, and persisting poverty, unemployment, ill health, livelihood insecurity, social subordination, and coercion of the dominant section of the population on the other. Hence, many of the pre existing identities have got redefined and rejuvenated in the changing context to become protest identities in the contemporary society. Societies in India now widely experience the proliferation of fluidity of collective identity. The conventional and pre existing patterns of vertical social mobility have been diluted in the wake of decline in the land-man ratio and the increase in the occupational diversification and rural to urban migration. Vast segment of the population are now horizontally mobilized from agriculture to non-agricultural activities. A good number of them from rural to the urban areas. It has widely contributed to the increasing informationalization of Indian economy to accommodate 92% of the workforce who can't, who can't spend 20 rupees per day towards consumption. Indeed, in spite of occupational mobility, the economic vulnerability of the marginalized segment of the population has not been altered. The vast segment of the population, due to the lack of proper education, training, and social capital, look for alternative avenues of employment not by choice but by compulsion. This has led to the emergence of multiple employer-employee relationship even in rural areas. The predominant and stable forms of agrarian employer-employee relationships, landlord-tenant or landlord-agricultural laborer, etc., are now being replaced by unstable, infrequent relationship with multiple employers or the service users. The traditional structure of authority and the primordial form of domination has been widely questioned with the emergence of NGOs activities and the functioning of Panchayati Raj institutions at grassroots. Now, gender, caste, and ethnic identities are articulated to frame collective mobilization against the hostile forces of patriarchy, feudalism, and caste and ethnic hegemony. Caste and ethnic hegemony. The struggles of Dalits and the tribes for the economic emancipation have been extended to the areas of struggles for political empowerment and to the struggles for their caste and ethnic identity. The practice of democracy at grassroots has generated a space for self-assertion among the marginalized groups on diverse issues and have contributed to the continuity of the culture of collective mobilization and rearticulation of regional, ethnic, gender, etc. identities. For example, the Telangana region of Andhra Pradesh, which has visualized the proliferation of peasant movements with the Telangana 1948 to 1952, Naxalite movement 1972 onwards, has now seen the proliferation of numerous collective mobilization at grassroots through the resurgence of multiple identities. For example, the resurgent separate Telangana statehood movements based on the ethnic identity of the Telangana people, mobilization of the agrarian poor, and sustained agrarian conflict spearheaded by the CPI-ML People's War Group and various other Naxalite outfits, mobilization for the protection of civil rights of the citizens by Andhra Pradesh Civil Liberties Committee, APCLC, Organization for the Protection of Democratic Rights, Citizen Forum, etc. Mobilization of scheduled tribes by Thudum Debba, a militant organization of the scheduled tribes. Mobilization of Madiga, a scheduled caste, by Madiga Reservation Porata Samiti (MRPS) for recategorization of scheduled caste into four groups based on their contemporary educational and economic status for the purpose of reservation in jobs and education, etc. Mobilization of cultivators by Roy Tu Seva Samiti, Jala Sandhana Samiti, demanding irrigation facilities for the peasants, anti-Arak movements to mobilize women against production and the consumption of liquor and also for women's liberty, political participation and social development, and so on are the contemporary realities of collective mobilization in rural Andhra Pradesh. Similarly, West Bengal, which has experienced the proliferation peasants and class identities through the Tebhaga 1946 to 1947, Naxalite 1967 to 1971, Operation Barga movement 1977 onwards, has been experiencing the rejuvenation of Gurkha land movement 1980s of the Gurkha hill tribes for a separate statehood, Kamtapur movement for the Rajbanshi scheduled caste since 1980s for the recognition separate statehood, movements against acquisition of agricultural lands by the Krishi Jami Suraksha Committee, committee to protect agricultural lands in Singur and Bhumi Uchir Pratorodhi in Nandigram. In Singur and the Bhumi Uchid Pratorodhi in Nandigram, tribal villagers' resistance against police operations in the Midnapur district and several other grassroots mobilization. Indeed, all these movements have constructed distinctive protest identities against the domination of the various forms. It is again that the state now has provided the liberal democratic space to articulate issues, interests, and identities for collective mobilization. Within these available space, many of the radical mobilization have got transformed to be institutionalized, co-opted, and have sustained them being partially reformative. Evidences from West Bengal and Andhra Pradesh show that sustained mobilization have opened up the possibility of articulation of new issues, identities and mobilizations of marginalized section of the population. The society now sees the cropping up of several new issues, new patterns of conflict, mobility and mobilization, while many of the old ones have taken a new shape in the present context. In the emerging scenario, the relationship between social mobility, conflict mobilization, and social movements have been extensive and implicit. Within the emerging dynamics, the pre existing forms of social collectivities got a significant place not only to protect their identity but also their social, economic, and political interest. These identities have also been encapsulated as a project to attain specific political goals. Hence, they not only question the basis of legitimacy, not only question the basis of legitimacy of pre-existing arrangements, but also assert for a share in the social, economic, and political spheres in the established order. These identities and conflicts, however, are not fixed, even as the tribal and Dalit island, even as the tribal and Dalit identities are constructed in the Telangana region of Andhra Pradesh for getting better share of the protective discrimination. They are simultaneously linked with the whole of Telangana region identity. Similarly, gender identity also cut across the caste and the ethnic identity. Thus, collective identities are in a state of flux. They get articulated and rejuvenated both synchronically and diasynchronically on diverse issues in diverse contexts. They move like a pendulum in these mobilization, getting fixed at one end and liberated at the other. Singha Roy 2004. Singha Roy. Summary. Collective identity is constructed through the process of interaction and engagement with the contemporary social processes on the one hand and historical experience on the other. As this engagement and experiences are historically circumscribed, there have been diverse processes of construction and transformation of social identity. Though at times identities operate in silence, it also becomes idiom of public projections of collective solidarity becoming parts of organized and spontaneous social movements. As social collectivity, human beings respond to varieties situation, articulate multiple identities and get associated with multiple networks, cross-cutting the predefined boundaries of given social groups. Herein, the process, formation and transformation of social identities is complex and fluid. This unit, besides providing you conceptual clarification on identity, its formation and transformation, has also discussed the local of identity, the location of or the locomotion of identity within the local and wide social processes. This unit, besides providing you conceptual clarification on identity, this formation and transformation, has also discussed the location of identity within the local and wide social processes. We have learned the intertwining between society, self, and identity, relation between culture and identity, the interface of identity with reasoning and available social choices. As identity gets transformed, it gets interlinked with process of formation, rejuvenation and reconstruction of identity. This unit has also discussed the emerging threats of fluidity in identity in the wake of the fast transformation of societies caused globalization and emergence of network societies. Besides discussing the theoretical issues, this unit has also provided you a glimpse of emergence of multiple identities as reflected in the grassroots collective actions in rural India.